Besigye argues that the Kenyan security forces aided their Uganda counterparts to carry out what he called an extraterritorial abduction. Uganda opposition leader Dr. Kizza Besigye has sued the governments of Kenya and Uganda over his adoption from Nairobi before being forcibly returned to Kampala and tried in a military court despite being a civilian. So, first and foremost, the way they did it is totally wrong. And secondly, the earlier African leaders stop trying to suppress, intimidate, oppress their opposition. They're better for all of us. And for crying out loud, this man is a civilian. If the Ugandan president is not playing like a tyranny, why is he trying a civilian in a military court? Why is he so determined to oppress, to suppress, to intimidate this man? Is he afraid that the people are beginning to rally themselves behind this man? Is he afraid that in the next election this man might win the majority to throw him after many years in power? So there's a whole lot of questions. In a petition filed at the Eastern African Court of Justice, Kampala Sub-Registry on December 4th, Dr. Besigye argues that Kenya aided the Uganda security forces to carry out what he calls an extraterritorial abduction, a move he says violates several provisions of the 2010 Constitution of Kenya and the Eastern African Community Treaty. So, you see, by him quoting the violation of 2010 Constitution of Kenya and the East African Community Treaty, it shows you that Kenya and Uganda carrying these acts, they violated the Kenya 2010 Constitution and the Eastern African Community Treaty. And if this man is quoting that they violated Kenya's 2010 Constitution, so it equally means that Kenya violated its 2010 Constitution by what they did with Nnamdi in 2021. That is the truth. So the earlier the better. Yes, the government of Kenya that did what they did to Nnamdi, Nigeria was there for his father when Kenya was facing their own political turmoil. And this present Kenya president, you are following the path of your predecessor and you will not go down where the history lane. Your people expected so much from you. But with the time you have been there, you have not been living up to expectations. And the Kenyans have been going through a lot, watching their high hopes they had in you fall or before their very faces. Dr. Besigye, a former personal physician to President Yoweri Museveni during the Colonial War, was jointly forcibly returned to the country along with his colleague Hajid Obed Loteria Kamole Gaye. So, truth be told, I hope that this Eastern African Community Court will investigate this matter thoroughly, and if Kenya is being found accountable that it violates the 2010 Kenya Constitution, the Kenya government should be held accountable for carrying out this act. And if Uganda is being found guilty of violating the Eastern African Community Treaty, the Ugandan government should be held accountable and this man should be set free. And both countries should pay him recompensation or should compensate him for violating his right.